So good morning guys, and welcome along, back with RB and a ride test on this. It's a little Lexmoto Echo 50 for the customer. Final ride test before we take this one out and deliver to the customer. This is being delivered by our motorcycle carrier, Move Motorcycles, and Andy. So what we're going to be doing, coming in on the braking, front and rear brake. Braking is effective. We have checked all the indicators, lights, everything's working absolutely fine. And I do love these little Echo 50s for just popping around town. Now this is an Echo Plus, which means on these they've got the slightly wider wheels, slightly bigger wheels on this, a little bit better on the road holding. Now obviously if you do look on the Lexmoto site, the Echo 50 itself is no longer available, just the Echo Plus now. But what a gorgeous little bike these are to ride, just to potter into the shops and coming back home, or if you happen to be 16, you want something just to go backwards and forwards to college, not have to worry about changing gears, then the Twist and Go Echo 50 is going to be right up your street. Obviously they only do 30 mile an hour, but there is ways to obviously unrestrict them, and there are loads of comments on the Lexmoto Owners UK on the Facebook page that do tell you how to unrestrict these. I'm currently doing bang on 30 mile an hour, taking it nice and easy. I'm not even on the full throttle yet, so just taking it nice and easy at 30 mile an hour, and just for the purposes of ride testing, just getting some miles on this bike. Now we do have quite a few of the Echo 50s in stock, and obviously we've got the other 50cc's, Hunters, and of course that Cypher. If you fancy something, you're 16, you want to spend a little bit more money, then electric is obviously the way to go. You can charge up daily and you get some decent mileage out of those little electrics. Now obviously the Cypher and the other electrics can be unrestricted, but then you're going to be eating away at your battery performance. Now I do know on the Cypher's owners page that I do follow, because we obviously did the very first ride of that Lexmoto Cypher, that the Cypher can do 45-50 mile an hour, but you are eating away at the performance of the battery. But there are loads and loads of technical spec and info on the Cypher's owners page. Obviously we're out riding at dinner time. This is a Monday, and the simple fact we're riding at dinner time is because I have a half day on a Monday. Yes, I get a little bit of time off on a Monday morning, so we've changed the rotors slightly, because obviously I was working 6-day week. I now get a Monday morning off, so I enjoy a Sunday and a little bit of time on a Monday with Mrs. Bomb. Coming in on the back brake on this one, and pulls up nice and effectively, obviously occupying lane position 1. Just in case any cars do come in a little bit quick from behind, you should always occupy offside or near side of a vehicle, never dead centre. Mirrors on this do a very, very good job. Can see all the road behind me, and I'd say I've got about a third of my shoulder in those mirrors. Obviously being spatially aware of vehicles to the front and to the rear. Coming in on the front brake this time, absolutely perfect. And obviously a lot of comments about me taking these and the Titans down dual carriageway at 30-40 mile an hour. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, and if you are riding the big A roads or you are riding the dual carriageways, then obviously just to be aware of the traffic around you. If it's the only way that you've got to go to work, riding down a dual carriageway, occupy position number 1, keep yourself right to the near side, and obviously be aware of cars coming in that offside mirror. But I never have an issue riding on dual carriageways. Those that normally have a whinge about it are either going to be car drivers or people that have never done a lot of biking in their life. I never have a problem. And obviously roads in Milton Keynes are mostly all dual carriageway, and they are all 60s as well. As I say, I never ever have a problem riding a smaller CC bike or a 125 at a lower speed on a dual carriageway. Tyres on these little Echos are pretty good as well. Obviously they are a nylon tyre, and as I always say, I never have a problem riding on those nylon tyres, due to the fact that in wet weather you're going to be taking a little bit more consideration coming into your corners. You're going to be taking your time, taking it nice and easy, and obviously being aware of any ice, dirt or wet conditions on the road. It's all down to obviously rider experience, and you can pick up a lot of rider experience just by watching a few YouTube videos. I tend to hang around on one channel only, and that channel is Dan the Fireman. And what you can do on his channel, go up to YouTube, DDFM, or type DDFM or type Dan the Fireman. That will take you to the main channel. On his video list there is a second channel. If you roll down through the videos, it will say fundamental riding skills, and that's things like how to do a U-turn, how to do nice tight figures of 8, braking into corners, and all your riding tips and riding skills that you will need if you are a very first time rider and new to biking. And obviously if you're an experienced rider, there is the other stuff on there as well, the advanced rider skills that we teach as a member of DDFM crew: trail braking, counter steering, situational awareness going into corners. And obviously on some of the corners, country roads, you'd normally position yourself left hand corner, position 3, out in the middle, so you've got more of the corner. If you're going to a right hand corner, position 1, once again you've got more of that corner. And obviously if you see less, you know the corner is tightening. If you see more, you know the corner is widening up and you can accelerate, but obviously being aware of still more traffic that could be coming through that corner, cutting out onto your side of the road. So obviously be aware in corners all the time. We've got currently 6k on the bike at 30 mile an hour, so it will take me a little bit of time to obviously ride this bike, get some ride test mileage on it, make sure it is all good. As I say, I absolutely love riding these little 50cc scooters. It's something different. I get to take in a lot more of the countryside and enjoy everything at a lower speed, things that you're going to miss if you're absolutely hammering around at mega speed, which I tend to do on the big ZX. But for an urban around town, this is a lovely little bike to ride. Just potter off to the shops, get a bit of shopping in, or if you happen to be pottering off to college, ideal bike for you. Now you can fit a 32 litre top box onto the back of these little Echos. And as for reliability, once these are running, they are absolutely bomb-proof. They're just like the Titans. Now we do have a Pulse Scouting. Now that thing is 5 years old. That has been thrown down the road by so many riders, because it is obviously our lone bike. It's been thrown down the road, it comes back in, it has a new panel on, or zip tie panels up. It's not the tidiest looking bike in the world, but it just keeps going and going and going. It has never failed. As long as you do a service on it, you maintain the bike, you look after it, you check your tyre pressures all the time, and make sure that you're looking after your bike, these things will go on forever and ever and ever. And the best thing is, being 50cc, it's cheap on the insurance, it's cheap on the petrol, over 100 to the gallon out of these things. And the riding position, absolutely lovely. Obviously in high winds, being a very light bike, you are going to get buffeted about a bit. But for reliability, economy, handling and performance, does what it says on the tin, as I say every time, does what it says on the tin. So go into town, do a little bit of urban around the shops, occupy the outside lane, and that's always the thing at roundabouts, checking your positioning into roundabouts, making sure you're doing them quick glances over the shoulder. A shoulder check should be just a quick glance into the blind spot, not a full 360 degree look around, because you're losing sight of the road in front. So quick shoulder check while keeping your eye on the road in front. But through the roundabouts, it handles exceptionally well. Never had a problem. 8k in. So a few more k's to parang up on this one. And just to let you know, we have changed my website. So now, everything you need to know, everything you want, so that is Eclipse Motorcycles, the Facebook, the website, all my links to all my channels. And now on the last page, social media. Very, very quickly go in there, revbomb.co.uk, go to the social media links. There's links to my Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. There's the link to the Eclipse Motorcycles website, the Eclipse Facebook. All the phone numbers are in there as well. And down the bottom, the 2 links to the DDFM crew. So you've got your DDFM rider training and the DDFM fundamental skills, if you want to pick up a few more tips about how to do things like cornering, low speed handling, tighter turns. Everything is on that DDFM page. It is a free to view site. If obviously you want to become a Patreon member and follow the prime stuff that we do on DDFM crew, all good. But all those YouTube links are free, so you can pick up some really good rider skills free of charge. And obviously popping across to Eclipse Motorcycles, all the list of all the bikes are in there. Eclipse Motorcycles website has the phone number, which is 01908 643 603. We have in stock 1 LXR left. We had a little bit of a splurge at the weekend, loads of people buying bikes. I've got a couple of Titans left, only a couple left now. Still got some Echoes left as well, and of course all those electrics. And I will find chance this week, because obviously bike sales are slowing down, to take out the Aria, give it a full-on ride. And I'm going to try and get the E-Lex out as well. And a couple of the other bikes. So, round town, slight change up today. No dual carriageway in today, just a load of urban. Just pottering around town, just to show what it's like at really, really low speeds. Just folding it into those corners. It is very, very light just to throw this thing around. I've got 10k on the clock already, so it doesn't take long to just rack up those k's. Now obviously the servicing on these is slightly different. First service on this one is 300k. Now the odo on this is in kilometres. Kilometres on the outside, mileage on the inside. And the easiest way to remember 30 mile an hour on this is 1 o'clock. So quick glance down, 12 o'clock I'm doing less than 30, and obviously around town it is 20 mile an hour in this area. So I'm just taking my time on this one. Once we get back up on the main routes, I'm going to ping back down that dual carriageway again in a second. That little Echo engine just purring away below me. Seating on this, very, very comfortable. I've got loads of leg room, 32-inch inseam, and I've still got loads of leg room on this. Now we have had riders. Come on, Mr. Car, you're right of way. We have had riders, obviously, one of our riders, 6'2", 16 stone. I said, do you get 30? So I get about 27, obviously due to my weight and height, but 27's fine when I'm only going 2 miles to work. And actually getting a parking place with one of these is a lot easier than trying to park his 4x4. So if you are using something as your daily commute, jumping on the train or whatever, one of these is going to be an ideal bike for you. And of course the other thing, obviously 50cc's and scooters are very, very desirable at the moment for the little oiks that want to try and steal them. So I would always say an alarm is a good option. We've got the Lextech alarms, which I plug and play straight in, very loud. Also got the remote start on the Lextech alarms. But I'd always say buy yourself a decent, approved Thatcham motorcycle chain and padlock round the back wheel and secure it to a post. Big visual deterrent having a chain on a bike rather than just locking it up and risking it with an alarm. So always get yourself a decent chain and lock which would fit under the seat on these. Now you're not going to get a full-size helmet under the seat, but you can put all your bike gear under there, your wet weather gear, your leggings, and of course your chain and lock. Or if you wanted a little bit of extra storage, obviously add that 32 litre top box onto that rear rack, and you've got that extra little bit of storage capacity on one of these. Pottering along, dual carriageway, 30 mile an hour. Beautiful. Loving it. So find a little bit of Route 1. We're going to go back down and continue on Route 1, which we did at the start of the video, and then head back to the garage. Very happy with the performance on this bike, no issues whatsoever, and the braking is lovely and crisp on this as well. Obviously from the pull off, it's not the fastest bike in the world, it's not the fastest twist and go. It gets up to 30 within about 10 seconds, which is something ideal if you're just pottering around town. And on the long run, obviously, sitting at 30, I don't have a problem. And at least you know you're not going to be flashing any speed cameras, which is something on a bigger bike that you obviously have to keep doing if you're riding around town on the urban. Find a little bit to do, and then we're going to head back to the garage. And once again, just to remind you, ka-ching, down the bottom end, link to revbomb.co.uk. As always, all my recommendations, bottom of the first page, which happens to be motorcycle carrier is in there. There's Motovlog finance if you're looking at finance on a bike. There's a link to Lexmoto and all the bikes that they list. That's all on the first page in my recommendations. Move Motorcycles, our motorcycle carrier that we use, and he is a very, very good carrier and does all of our deliveries for us. Also a link to CBT A1A2 DAS is a link to motorcycle training in Milton Keynes, and that is Guy, William and Andy. Obviously if you're into wanted to do a CBT on a bike, DAS and A1A2, speak to Guy, and they are Learn to Ride motorcycles based at Milton Keynes Bowl. Probably one of the best courses. I wonder what in figures, doesn't it? Just sit in the middle of the road. I've got a van, I don't mind taking up 2 lanes, he says, and blocking the traffic. Typical van driver. Obviously roads a little bit busy today, but hence the fact that you can, on one of these, filter very, very easily. Controls very, very easy to use on just a flick of the thumb. Just to flick backwards and forwards on those indicators. And then obviously the final ones on the page, McCam's Motorcycle Accident Management Service. If you happen to drop your bike or you need a little bit of help with the claim, speak to the guys at McCams. They're very, very good at what they do. There's loads of links all on that first page, but if you do want any of the social media stuff, once again, that is all on my social media links for revbomb.co.uk. On the social media links. Fancy a little bit of merchandise? We've just dropped all the prices on the merch, so I think there's about 10 off of all the t-shirts, the hats, the gloves, mugs, stickers. So fancy a bit of RB merchandise. And that's all done via PayPal. Nice and easy. And that's got your buyer protection in there as well. So hook across to the YouTube. And just to remind you, all the Motovloggers that I follow are all on the bottom of every YouTube video that I post. Pop across and have a look at some of the other bike channels that I associate with or follow. Now if you happen to be around this Friday, so it's this coming Friday, I think it's going to be the 18th or the 19th, 9 PM, pop across to YouTube, Military Biker, or The Military Biker, pop across there, because we are going to be doing a Christmas feed, and joining us on the channel, Diesel's Hog, Jim Diesel as well, probably have new biker in there, Revhythmicbiker, I get a visit from UncleRed as well. So all the big moto vloggers are all meeting up on a Friday night on the channel for the Military Biker. Pop across and see us all dressed up for Christmas. And of course I shall be in there. RB will be joining in on that feed, having a bit of fun with you guys. So have a pop in there. See what you think of our Christmas feed. Watch us all drinking beer, drinking wine, whiskies, whatever, cokes, and just having a general chit chat about the biking industry. And obviously Euro 5 is due to come in, what is happening in the States with COVID and distancing and biking, and you get to catch up with a load of the English moto vloggers. Obviously we can only get sort of 10-15 of us on screen at one time, but there will be new riders popping in and out the rooms. But that was the Echo 50. A couple of updates, obviously, what went on this week and what we've been doing. Still very, very busy at Eclipse, and still doing a lot of bike servicing. Obviously we're open for MOTs as well, servicing on bikes, new bike sales, or if you just want a general investigation on your bike, you've got some running issues, give the guys at Eclipse a call. Once again, number 01908643603. I'm heading back to the cigarette and cup of tea due, and it's not that cold today. So until next time, guys, be well, ride safe this week, and from RB and the crew, as always, here's the big goodbye from me. Take care.